Actor Glen Powell stars in the new Paramount Pictures thriller. It's called The Running Man. It's based on a Stephen King novel from back in the day. So it takes place in the near future in a society where the contestants participate in a reality game show. It's called The Running Man. They're hunted by professional assassins. So Powell plays Ben Richards. He's a regular guy competing on the show to win cash. How much cash? $1 billion with a B, to save his sick young daughter.
Better run, Mr. Richards. This is why we watch, running fans. Go, go. Stop filming me!
Going down.
You got it. He's headed for the lobby.
Reached the lobby.
Richards, you're going down. I got a grenade! Back at you.
How's this going to turn out? Let's just say Glen Powell has a very packed schedule, but he came by the studio a couple of days ago. Here's our conversation. Hello, Mr. Powell.
How's it going?
Oh, not as good as you. I'm thinking it's good to be you right now, Glen, but I am so excited about everything you do. Last time we talked, I said you were on a rocket. Now I think you've taken the whole damn ship and you're in the stratosphere. But I'm so happy for your success. But Ben Richards, this was tough for me because he's an angry guy. He has a short fuse, and that's so opposite of everything you do. So I know it's called acting.
Yep.
But what did you do to prepare for this guy?
You know, I think the Ben Richards, yeah, his sort of operating emotion is definitely rage. You know, he's sort of like in a world in which he's trying to provide for his family, but he stood up for some of his coworkers, and he got blacklisted, so he can't, you know, his daughter's incredibly sick, and he can't provide for she or his wife, and so he goes on this unwinnable game show where no one's ever survived. So really, it's a guy who's just frustrated by the bully. You know, he's really angry at the world and the situation he's in. So for me, I just kind of thought about my own family. You know? Yeah. You're
so good in it. Edgar was here earlier this week, your director, and he said that when it came to casting Ben Richards, he only wanted you. And I said, why? He said, because he's relatable, he's likable, and I wanted people to see him doing something that's very different than what he is, but he's also very believable in this role.
And, you know, Edgar's just one of the greats. And it's like, I think the thing I'm so excited about is, like, you've seen him do action, parts of action in some of his movies before, but, like, you get to just unleash a whole new part of his, you know, filmic attributes. Like, he's just so good. He's one of our greatest directors, and I feel like you get to see him in a whole new way in this movie.
But listen, there is a whole lot of action in this movie. And I said, so did Glen do his stunts? He goes, he did 99.9. There were a couple that he couldn't do because of insurance reasons. Not because he couldn't do it, or not because he didn't want to do it, because it's extremely physical.
Absolutely. Well, the funniest part is I realized at the end of the shoot, there's like this bridge jump where there's like a game of chicken, and I jump off this exploding bridge, and I didn't realize why they put it at the end of the shoot until later, which is all insurance. He dies, you know,
just in case.
Yeah, the insurance has more influence over this movie than you think.
How did you prepare for something that's so physical? Well, to me, it's different than anything I've ever seen you do. And you've had physical roles before. It's not like you're a mouse burger sitting around on the set. You've done some very physical things, but this is next level.
Well, the interesting part about this one, when you finished reading the script for the first time, I was like, I'm gonna take some licks on this movie. I knew that it was gonna be.
I'm gonna take some licks.
Some licks.
Okay.
But the hard part is when you go and actually do it. All my friends that have starred in action movies, I just asked their advice on what to do, and every single one of them said it is going to be a lot more brutal than you expect. Just because you know the explosion's happening or the gunfire or the hits doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. You know, and you're doing it 12 times in a row.
There's a great scene where you're hanging off of in a towel, and you're hanging midair with the towel, and I kept thinking, dear Lord, let the towel fall. And Glen, it never did. What was it, double stick tape?
Yeah, you just cursing that double stick tape.
But
that strong button, just holding on in the winter of Bulgaria.
But that's the other thing I was wondering, because it's during the winter, and you had to shoot that scene over and over and over again.
All night.
The other thing I thought was interesting, Glen, is that Stephen King had to approve you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, has he seen any Glen Powell movies? What was that like waiting? Because, listen, everybody wanted you, but Stephen King had to have the final sign-off.
Absolutely.
What was it like for you waiting to see Am I in? Am I out? Was there anything that you were worried about?
Well, I got the news from Edgar that I was his choice to be Ben Richards right before I was going on the Jimmy Fallon show. And so I happened to be with my family, and we all just celebrated. It was so exciting. And then the next day, I get a call from Edgar. He said, by the way, I forgot to tell you, you don't actually have the role yet. And I was like,
what?
What do you mean?
Come again?
I'm like, he goes, Stephen King has to approve you. And I was like, well, I wish you would have said that before I completely celebrated. I'm now emotionally invested. So that night, he said Stephen King's going to watch Hitman, which is the movie I did with Richard Linklater. And there's some disguisable elements in Running Man as well. So Stephen King watched it, and I got the word the next day that he loved the movie and that I was fully approved to be Ben.
The other thing that I like so much about you, I won't do that. The other thing that I think...
Is it weak buttons on towels?
No, it's like, you know, I've made it my mission to find a girl for Glen Powell. He goes, Gayle, I'm okay. I don't need your help. But I appreciate if you run it by me.
I always appreciate you wingmanning.
Yes,
I really...
Yes, I think you need to be a wingman for me. But going back to University of Texas, that you're getting your degree.
Yeah.
Now, that's fascinating to me because there are people in school now that are trying to do what you are doing.
Yes.
And they would say, why do I need a degree? They want to be what you're doing, and you're going back to school. Why is that important to you? I love that you're doing it, by the way.
You know what's funny is I don't know if there's necessarily a logical reason more than a spiritual reason, which is I like to just finish what I started. Oh. And University of Texas means a lot to me. Yes. I didn't want to get the honorary degree where they just sort of say, hey, you're in the club. I'm like, no, I want to earn it. You know, I don't like to take shortcuts. And I feel like for me, getting that degree is the end of a wonderful chapter that I started back in 2007.
Yes. Cheering you on always, Glen Powell. I can't wait for people to see you in Running Man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm predicting it's going to do well. Glen Powell. The Running Man's in theaters this Friday, distributed by Paramount Pictures, part of our parent company. And by the way, Glen Powell's hosting Saturday Night Live.
That's going to be cool.
He said that's a dream come true for him, and the musical guest is Olivia Dean. That's going to be good, too.
I also think the movie's going to kill.
It's good.
It's going to crush.
I know Gayle was watching that movie please fall off towel, please fall off towel.